Hey folks, Chris once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is another request sign from Annabelle yet again. And she wanted me to review a horror movie, which is basically a killer clown horror comedy called Stitches. Now, I got this, I saw this movie back in, oh god, what was it, 2017 or 16? And I watched it, and I really loved it. I still, to this day, really love this movie. I think it's witty, I think it's clever, I think it's a damn good movie. It's got a great villain. Stitches is hilarious. It's got great creative special effects. It's got some good characters. It's got a good direction, and it's just all a great horror comedy. Now this DVD is pretty damn pricey if you catch it online. It's like at least $50 or down to $200, which is pretty pricey. Now the movie, let's talk about the movie. The movie starts off with this clown who is basically like a terrible, horrible clown. He goes to this kid's birthday party named Tom with all his friends, and he puts on a shitty show because he's trying to. The one good trick he did at this kid's birthday party is he pulled a quarter out of his ear. But that was his best trick. He was playing with like a puppet skeleton. The kid threw a ice cream at it. The other kid popped his balloons. One kid put some kind of rotten food in his hat, and he just did all kinds of doing terrible things to this poor clown. And while he was juggling, one of the kids tied his shoelaces together, threw a basketball at his head, landed on a dishwasher where a knife was sticking up, and it stabbed him in the eye. And you literally see him turn around, and the kids are like, they didn't run away, which is weird. And the makeup effect looks great. Most of the makeup in this movie is practical, which is awesome. And he rips out the knife and it spreads all over this kid, Tom. And it was a very brutal, gory scene too. I'm surprised. And he just drops back dead, and the knife falls back in his eye. So then, a couple years later, he's having visions of the clown, and then he's still friends with all the people who are at his party. Now I want to run down some of the characters. He has this girl Kate, who Tom really likes. He's got Bulger, who's like a gay kind of lispy kind of guy, and he's really nice. I like him. I feel bad for him when he got killed too. You got Richie, who is just not really the best character because he barely has any dialogue. You got, who else? He's got these two asshole dickhole bullies named Paul, and I forget the girl's name, but she's a bitch. Very hot girl, but she's a bitch. And his best friend Vinny, and Tom himself, and that's all the characters besides Stitches. So they want to throw him an adult party, so they grab beer, they grab pop, they grab a bunch of snacks, and they basically throw him a big party. And then while the party's going on, Stitches comes back to life. And I love the design of Stitches. The fact that he has this gross, dusty hair on his real head. He's got the stitch where his eye was stabbed out. He's got pale skin. He's got like a big red nose. And he takes it off, and there's no nose there, which is a great makeup effect. And it literally rolls around. I like his outfit. I like the way he kills people. It's just a great look for a villain for a movie like this. So anyway, Jesus comes rise out of his grave. Before that, actually, the bully kid, Paul, he dresses up as a clown, scaring the crap out of Tom. And for some reason, there's blood behind Tom's head, and he goes to hide in his treehouse. But you feel bad for Tom throughout this whole movie. You just want all these dickheads to fucking die, and they do. Anyway, so then, yeah, Paul dresses up as a shitty clown, and he scares him. And the costume he's wearing looks like something you get at a cheap, like, Party City or Spirit Halloween. It's not a good clown costume. So even though they hide his head in the shadows, that's not Stitches. But yeah, they try to hide his face for some reason, so I have no idea. So he goes to the bathroom, he pisses his pants. But after he washes up, he goes outside. Before that, after Tom is scared, Bulger comes at this girl and Paul with some of the funniest dialogue. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't know what he exactly says, but it's hilarious. The one thing I know he says is, I'll slap the smile off her face, you knocker bitch. Fuck that girl, man. She dies a good death, though. So the Paul guy, the dickhole guy, he literally wrings out his underwear with piss in it, and it goes into this guy's cup, who's Kate's boyfriend at the moment, but she gets together with Tom. But he literally drinks it, and he's like, "Oh, it tastes like piss." But after that, Stitches kills Paul in a great way. He rips off his ear, and he doesn't seem to be feeling any pain. He's like, "Oh my god, my ear, man! I'm just gonna." And he tries to walk away, and he tries to punch him, and he just takes his arm and he rips it off, which was it's a really gory, graphic scene. And it literally shows his arm, shows his tendons and fucking skin peeling off his arm. It's really gross, but really cool. And he literally reaches his hand inside his mouth. And when he reaches his hand, you can tell it's a rubber dummy, but it was pretty cool anyway. He rips out a bunny. Then he kicks his fucking head off and literally goes into the pond in Tom's front yard. Great death scene. So then this literally says, "Oh, this part is really kicking now." And he goes, unfortunately, after my favorite character, other than Tom and Kate, which is Bulger. After the Paul incident, Bulger literally goes into Tom's pantry and literally gets drunk and gets high off of, they're either beans or chopped up cherries in a can. And Stitches finds him, which he does that nose thing where it sniffs him out. And they put on "I Died in Your Arms Tonight," which is hilarious. And he literally cuts open the top of his head and he rips it off. And he literally digs out his fucking brain and he puts it in this container. It's like ice cream with blood as the syrup. Pretty gruesome, brutal, not brutal, but it was gruesome, it was gross, but it's more comical than anything. But it was sad to see Bulger go, but he got a great death scene. So then he goes to the asshole girl who got called knocker bitch, and she's literally in Tom's upstairs room, and for some reason, and she turns around and she's like, "Paul, was that you?" And he's like, "Sorry, Paul had to head out." Great line. And he literally takes the umbrella. Before that, the girl literally kneels, stabs him in the throat with her heel. You get a real close-up shot of him ripping it out of his fucking neck. It was so gruesome, but awesome. And then he calls her a bastard, and he throws the umbrella on the back of her, and it comes out her fucking eye. and you saw this shot of her eye, like, in front of the camera and the dial, and the pupil literally dilates to small, which was creepy as fuck, but it was awesome. And she falls back, and you can see literally the close-up of her eyelid really sliding down the umbrella, and then the umbrella opens up with blood everywhere, and Stitches really does this, and there's like an ammo balloon of a dick coming out of him, and he covers it. But then, here we get to one of the most scenes that I think is completely pointless. It wasn't needed, but he literally kills a cat by swinging it around. You can tell it's an animal, that stuffed animal, but still, that scene wasn't needed. Really stupid, really just shock value. But then we ever get to probably the most graphic but amazing death scene where Vinny, the guy said he's not really important to the plot. He literally cuts his stomach open, his intestines fall out, and he cuts one of them off and he blows it up like a balloon, and he's like, well, Wolf is a dog. And he literally runs, he trips on his own intestines, pumps his head up with a bike pump, and his head literally blows up, which was an awesome effect. It looked creepy as fuck. Like, if I saw this movie as a kid, I would have nightmares for years. And his head literally blows up like in Child's Play 2, at the ending of Child's Play 2. Great death scene. Creepy as all hell, but goofy at the same time. And then, who's left is Kate, Tom, and Vinny. So, there's a really fucking gross scene where Stitches takes Tom and he drowns him in a sink full of puke, which was like, oh my god, that's disgusting. And then they both get knocked out, and then they're outside. Or Stitches, they literally go to Stitches' grave, because when a clown starts a clown has to paint his face on an egg, so they go to the graveyard, because there's literally this ritual where a clown has to paint their face on an egg that represents the clown's life. So they had to break the egg to kill Stitches. But yeah, so Stitches is literally riding a tiny tricycle to get to them, which is completely hilarious. And then he's like, what's this funnier? Watching you die? Looking at her face, watching you die. And then they have the egg. Vinny literally ties his shoelaces together with them when they were kids. But then Stitches trips, and he trips on the egg, and he literally explodes with egg yolk. It's so gross, but so awesome at the same time. And then the movie ends with Kate and Tom getting together, and then one of the clowns from the ritual putting the egg together, and that's it. And we get a cool montage of a bunch of bloopers, and that was Stitches. I hope to see a sequel to this movie, because I fucking love this movie, man. It's great, it's fun, it's witty, the acting's decent, the effects are fucking awesome, and that's about it. So, let me know in the comments what you think about Stitches. What's your favorite death scene? What's your favorite Killer Clown movie? Let me know in the comments. So, with that said, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you for the requests. Lisa, I'm sorry, I butcher names. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.